Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're happy and you're healthy and you're looking after yourself. I just wanted to come on here to talk about some things that have changed my life in terms of my perspective. They've really been grounding in trying times for me that have, occurred due to what's happening in the world right now. These things, they are not that out of this world. I'm pretty sure that you have come across some of these sayings or some of these principles, like, in everyday conversation. But I promise you, unless you're willing to accept these principles or learn these principles, they're not really going to affect you that much, and they're not really going to change your life as they did mine. When I say change my life, I think I mean that, I was probably going through something quite traumatic, a lot of disappointment, a lot of sadness, or just, you just don't feel all happy all the time. These are just some grounding thoughts that I hope you can resonate with and you can reflect on, and let me know if you, I don't know, like how you find this. I'm just gonna go through the things that changed my life. I'm so excited to tell you guys because honestly, let me tell you, even today I have to remind myself of some of these things, because you just have to keep reminding yourself, we're human beings, we're fallible, we're not perfect, and we always have to keep reminding ourselves of these things in order to live forget it, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Okay, the first thing that we're going to talk about is do not take things personally. Do not take things personally, no matter who it is, who it's coming from. Don't take it to heart. And what this really means for me is just that everything people say is really just a projection of their experiences, of their fears, of whatever it is. And therefore, if someone to say something positive or negative towards me, why should it affect my trajectory? Like, it really shouldn't, and it shouldn't affect yours either. And I think by really not taking things personally, you allow yourself to walk through life a lot more happy and light-hearted, and you can just be a more free person rather than walking around, listening to what everybody has to say and taking it to heart, because honestly, that is just not the way to live. Another thing is, this point I really got from a book called The 4 Agreements. I will link any of the resources or books or podcasts I've been reading that have really helped me. I'll link them all down below. But what I like that the author, Ruiz, says is that when you accept these comments or things that people say to you, you agree with them. If you become offended, you essentially agree with what is being said. So by letting it go or not taking it to heart, it doesn't really affect you because you don't agree with it. So as long as you know who you are, you're a good person, you're happy with where you are, I don't think it should really matter. The next point is action is the true measure of intelligence.
Has to be one that's worth betting on.
And honestly, this one was a bit like, whoa, because I've always grown up thinking, the intelligent people are the people who can memorize everything, who get the best exam results, and that's how I was taught to discern who was intelligent and who was not. So in that sense, it was a thing of, I think I might have to say that point again. The point is, action is the true measure of intelligence. You've been taught that You know, intelligence is about who can memorize the most facts, who gets the best exam results. That's usually who you'd consider the intelligent one or the smart one. But I've actually grown to learn that those who take action are the actual intelligent ones. And what this means is that, you know, if you think of something and it's in your mind, and you take the action, you take the steps to bring these things out into real life, like from concept to actual thing, I think that's by far the highest form of intelligence, because you've conceptualized this thing, you've either dreamt it, you've thought it, and you've brought it out mentally into the real world, materialized. And it comes with a lot of things, especially with creative work, you know, taking the actions and the steps to create things. If we look at everything around us, everything was made from conceptualization, action to materialization. So honestly, if you ever want to test yourself, don't do it in an arbitrary way, in, oh, I can get this grade, or oh, I can remember this many books or quotes. It's like, no, think of something and have the courage to materialize it. Take the action to materialize it, whatever it may be. Number 3 is you have to live to learn. And this is so annoying because there are books on top of books that teach you all the cautionary tales of what to do and what not to do, and you think by following them you'll avoid it. That's not how life works. Trust me. Like, I go through my life trying to avoid things because I think, oh, if I avoid this then this won't happen. But the truth is, life takes its toll whichever way it wants to, and whether I like it or not, whether you like it or not, we have no control over it. And once I learned that living is how I'm going to learn, it kind of made me a bit more open to learning and a bit more open to making mistakes, because before it would be a thing of so and so has made this mistake, I know how to avoid it, I won't do this, I won't do that, and then the same thing happens to me and I'm like, wait, hold on a minute, this is the very thing I avoided. But the truth is, no lesson actually sticks and applies to you unless you've lived through it. And that's just what I had to learn, and that really changed my life. Next one is yield to the flow of life. And I think this is my favorite one. The analogy I like to use is that life is like a sine curve, and let's say there's a graph and this is a sine curve. A sine curve has its ups and its downs, just like life. There are peaks and there are troughs. Things are good some days and they're bad on the others. What does yield really mean? Yield means to surrender, to submit to the flow of life. And the thing is, life truly is like this, because if you go to the hospital and you see those machines, do you know how you know when you're dead? The line is straight. And if you think you can go through life coasting straight, you better just get rid of that thought, because I'm so sorry, that just means that you're dead. Because the only thing that's constant is the change, the ups and downs. Accepting that has helped me a lot, and I hope it helps you too, because realistically we can't really appreciate the highs without the lows. So it's always best to embrace life and all that comes with it. Be like the ocean or the waves. I don't even know. My final point is diversity of opinions are good. In society right now, with our friendship groups, or you know, the internet, social media especially, everyone has this herd mentality. It's like a disease. I don't know where it bore from, and it's always really used to annoy me. And I felt myself going through the trap where if I didn't agree with, you know, my peers' opinions, I would feel like what was wrong with me. I would feel like an outsider. I would sometimes feel slightly victimized because I'm thinking, okay, is my thought wrong? But then I realized it's good to have different thoughts and different opinions. Like, that's what makes life exciting. If we all thought the same, that would be so boring. We all have different lived experiences. We all have different thoughts, different interests. So therefore our opinions should also portray diversity. And yeah, I don't know, this was just a really enlightening eye-opener for me, because I would kind of limit my thoughts or limit my speech because I was slightly afraid that I would be the only one who held such an opinion. But what I tended to find out is that, you know, people can learn from me and I can learn from others. So I should just be myself and say, you know, what I think, and be open to changing my mind too. Obviously my thoughts aren't always correct, so yeah, just accepting that. Those are all the points I have for you guys today that changed my life. And honestly, they do continue to change my life, because sometimes I can literally just be having a lazy day where I'm procrastinating and I'm just like, Izochi, action is a measure of intelligence. Or, you know, someone says something that hurts my feelings, don't take things personally. Or something doesn't go my way, yield to the flow of life. I'm so glad that you joined me today. I'm so thankful as well that you're here watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope more than anything you learned something. If you did, please let me know. I would love to build a community of people who just want to, you know, just be better for their family, better for themselves, better for the community, just have mental clarity. Like, that's what I'm all about. Mental clarity, you know, good lifestyle, happy, because guess what, you can't die. Well, you can, but you shouldn't, what's that word, you shouldn't be the one that's killing yourself. Like, no, please don't do that. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in today. Let me know what else you'd want to hear from me, and I'll be sure to leave all my resources down below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.